Event Saturday, November 25th at Salties in Grand Harbor, Red Bay. Music by Sugar Daddy, Goodnight Hannah, the band called Heat. Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, a major fundraiser taking care of our community. Rotary Central, NPO number 232, creating hope in Cayman and the world.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, welcome and thanks for joining us on what always is a wonderful Wednesday. It's not the attempt at alliteration, it's what it is indeed, as I have two wonderful individuals joining us as we share with you what our friends at Jasmine are up to. We're going to light up a life, so stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow, Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thanks for joining us, and thanks to Miss Felicia McLean. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Oh, even if I wasn't, I would say not. On the, as my friend says, one doesn't lie, one just makes statements inconsistent with the truth. This would not be that way. It is not only the belief that you call those things that aren't as if they were, but I am truly wonderful.
Awesome.
I'm surrounded by great people like yourselves, with others in my life who uplift, who inspire, who nurture, who lovingly correct and chastise. But I live in probably the best place in the world.
Yes.
And I don't say that lightly, man. It's just some amazing people here. And we give with a loving heart, with a willingness to help. And even in our miserableness and disagreement, sometimes we still feel the love. It's a good time, huh?
Yep, it's a good time.
It's a good time. Well, thank you all for taking a few minutes and joining us, and for the great things that Jasmine continue to do, and as a community we continue to support, and discussions like this that can sometimes weigh heavily. We feel the love, and we understand that we get to a space because we have people who are nurturing. So I'm very excited to have you share with us and our listeners. So bring that wonderful smile to you, and let's enjoy today.
Well, thank you for having us. We do enjoy our monthly slots. We missed last month, and so we're happy to be back. We're excited to let the public know that it is that time of year again. It's the Christmas season that comes around before you know it. But Jasmine does a special event for the island, and we're the only one that does it on the island. So it's a unique, special experience to be able to come out to our what we call Light Up a Life. When we lose our loved ones throughout the years or over the years, it's quite, we still find Christmas, just like birthdays, to be quite difficult to deal with. And so one of the ways we try to help our grieving community heal together is by having Light Up a Life, where they can remember a loved one by putting their name on a memorial star and putting it on a tree that we keep up for the whole month of December in different locations around the island. And so we wanted to, remind people that that's coming up. next week, November the 28th at 5:30 p.m. at Cayman Bay. It's around by the where Cayman National used to be, behind there, on the water side, but there'll be signs. They can't miss it. It's a family-friendly event. The National Choir will be singing, both the kids and the adults, and it's just a beautiful, somber evening by the water, great place, and you're not alone. It's a time for people to come together, remember their loved ones, and remember they're not alone in what they're feeling. And so we're really, really excited about that. And Rhonda has been helping us the last 2 years by offering a few words in there, but she also volunteers at Jasmine with our Memory Circle, which is a grief support group for people who've lost loved ones at any point in time, and they don't have to be just with Jasmine, and both of these things are open up to anyone who's had any loss. But I'll let her tell you a little bit more about herself and about Memory Circle.
Thank you, Ms. Rhonda.
Well, again, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to, be on air and be able to talk about this topic because, again, it's something that I'm really passionate about because I really do believe that no one should have to grieve alone. And, one of the reasons why I support Jasmine is because they do such a good job of ensuring that, the bereaved in our community is supported. It's not just during the time of illness, but it's afterwards as well. And Felicia mentioned, their grief support group, Memory Circle, which happens once a month, the second Wednesday of the month. And I've had the pleasure of being able to host that for them for a couple of years now. And it's one of those, I think, gatherings that allows people to come together. Those who've lost, understand that the ache of losing someone you love, doesn't go away. You don't forget the people that you love. And sometimes it's good to come together with other people who understand that. And the Memory Circle is a perfect, opportunity to do that. We do different things each month as well. So sometimes we have guest speakers that come in. Sometimes we have more social gatherings. So
we've even added in arts and craft this year.
Yes.
And got some sponsorship for that. And so they did over the Halloween time, I think they did some type of Thanksgiving kind of themed takeaway. They did something at Valentine's as well that was, more to do with that. And so we're really blessed to have Rhonda and another lady by the name of Jill who spearheads the Memory Circle and really helps to bring it to light so that people don't feel like they have to come and sit and just pour their life out and, it's just going to be sitting around like that. It really has taken on a life of its own and it's become a family group. People look forward to coming to just spending time with other people who may experience the same thing they've experienced at some point in time, and they help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. There are connections that are made, and that's what we hope for as well, because what you want to do is to give, individuals an opportunity to bond with other people who may, be able to in turn be a support to them outside of the Memory Circle gathering. And we've seen that happen. And so that's a really great, I think, opportunity for those in our community that sometimes may feel isolated in their grief as well. So, it also gives an opportunity for the attendees to learn about grief as well, because we do talk about what is grief, topics that are related to grief as well. So it's also educating as well.
And as I listen to you, I recognize that many of us grieve differently. We don't always, grieve in public, and we may believe there's an expectation. And for some, as you shared, it doesn't matter if the loved one has been decades since they passed, and perhaps for many, the fear that they may have forgotten what day was he passed again, what year, and they feel they may be forgetting, and there's that guilt and whichever. Just listening to you guys, it's interesting how whether we try to quell the emotion, it just wells up in us, right?
Absolutely.
With that, we'll pause. Let's take a break. and when we come back, we'll share with you more about, next Tuesday, right? Light Up a Life, how to be a part of it, its importance. And we're really, truly grateful for this partnership, and especially to have, Ms. Rhonda a part of this. So join us after. It appears that the schedule that was scheduled for 1 to 2 isn't going to materialize, and that means that we can have some open line. Well, we'll tell you what that means in a bit. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
They say variety is the spice of life. And that's why at Subway, we're introducing the new boneless hot sub. Say what? The premium sub brings new ingredients like spicy breaded boneless chicken, French's crispy fried onions, and buffalo wing sauce, bringing a zesty and flavorful experience with every bite. Add some of your favorite veggies, cheese, and ranch sauce of your choice of freshly baked bread for the ultimate boneless hot sub. For a little spice in your life, try the new boneless hot sub from Subway.
So good and tasty.
And make it a meal with a drink and chips or cookies. Subway. Eat fresh.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
It's back, Cayman. That's right. Le Classique's original Black Friday sale. This Friday and Saturday only. Shoes as low as $10 and $20. Store-wide up to 50%. That's right, Cayman. It's back. The original Le Classique Black Friday sale. This Friday and Saturday only. See you there.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Cayman Islands, clear your calendars because something extraordinary is coming your way. Ignite the Fire, hosted by Christ for All Nations, is roaring into the Lions Center from November 29th to December 3rd. Join us for an epic worship and gospel event, a monumental move of God that will transform lives and reveal destinies. Don't miss this 5-night, once-in-a-generation experience. Be a part of history in the making. Ignite the Fire, Cayman. Mark your date. November 29th to December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. nightly, and get ready for an unforgettable spiritual journey that will set your heart ablaze. Cayman and you will never be the same again.
Brand Source Home Gallery 54th birthday celebration with store-wide savings. Save on appliances, faucets, tubs, toilets, shower doors, vanities, kitchen cabinets, custom closets, and more. Starting Monday, November 6th, save 30%. Monday, November 13th, the savings will drop to 20%. And Monday, November 20th, they will drop to 10%. It pays to shop early and save more. Brand Source Home Gallery 54th birthday celebration savings on now through November 25th. Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 for more details.
It's November, and November brings Gimme Story. The Cayman National Cultural Foundation presents the Cayman Islands International Storytelling Festival. Gimme Story, your district. Join us for 6 evenings of free family entertainment from November 25th to December 2nd. Guests arrive at 6:30 p.m. and the show starts at 7. Experience the best of Cayman storytellers that Anna know from Anna Born, like Rita Estevanovich, Nasaria Saku-Chalet, and international storytellers like Black Sage of Trinidad and more. Vote for the best fried fish and enjoy some swanky. Plus, it's all free. And we starting on time too, so hurry up. Visit artscayman.org or Cayman Culture on social media.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And we invite you to come, light up a life, with Jasmine next Tuesday, Miss Felicia, and the wonderful company you would agree of, Miss Rhonda.
Mm-hmm.
I I hope I say this respectful, and I invite you to guide me if I don't. When we talk about events like this, it's to celebrate that person, to show love and respect, and as we remember them, and as we come together. And it isn't a hopefully said improperly or disrespectfully, irreverent in any way, or misunderstood. We love that person while they're alive. We also want to remember them fondly and know that they want us to continue living and have the best life, and honor them by our excellence. And as the day unfolds, whatever the reason, we remember them. There may be the emotional well up, the tear, but it also needs to be hopefully a joy, and not feel guilty about remembering the joke the person told, or that time something happened and it made everybody laugh. Right, Miss Felicia?
For sure. No, I mean, that's the beauty of it. I remember Scott Ruby had quoted or said this a couple of times when we've had Light Up a Life, that, people die, but they only die a second time if we forget them. Yeah. So by keeping their memory alive, we're keeping them alive with us. We're honoring them. And Light Up a Life provides everyone the opportunity to come and remember their loved ones, especially going into the season where it's about love and it's about family and it's about giving and caring. But then there's a part of you that's missing someone who normally would have been a part of that celebration, would have made the difference, would have said that joke or whatever it is. Yeah. And this is a chance before the season gets busy, before we start all the Christmas parties and all the other things that distract us, we're able to stop and just honor the people who've gone before us that help make us who we are. They've left imprinted something on us, and this is our chance to say, we're going to quiet our hearts long enough, and we're going to gather with other people who also have gone through similar things, so we can either support them or be supported by them, and honor those that have helped make us who we are. And it's actually a beautiful ceremony. I think last year we had almost 500 people there. I mean, it has grown over the years, but it's the only thing that stops and takes a moment out of all the busy Christmas things that you could do to stop and remember a loved one, and then at the same point in time support a wonderful cause, because this is how we what we do to keep giving back to the community, to care for those people who are in a situation where their loved one isn't gone yet, but they're caring for them, and the funds raised go right back to caring for people with serious illnesses that need that support. And also provide our grief support, like Rhonda's, the funds that we need, that we raise to be able to have fun things at Memory Circle, or when we do stuff like Lunch Club, which is another opportunity for bereaved family members and people in our community to come out and have lunch with us, and just kind of heal and grow together. We also have the Pink Ladies Bingo that happens once a month. There are a few programs that we do that caters to bereaved family members to come out, not stay shut in, have a chance to mingle with other people who are going through something similar, who can support them or who they can support.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add to that as well. I think one of the things that's so beautiful about the event, Light Up a Life, is that it brings a community together, so that, because sometimes in grief you can feel, and I mentioned it earlier, isolated, right? Sometimes you feel like I'm the only one going through this. But this event gives you an opportunity to see that you're not the only one, and there are lots of people that are there honoring their loved ones, remembering their loved ones, and it makes you feel a little less, alone. And so it's a great event to enter into the holiday season by, again, highlighting the fact that, we're honoring and we're remembering people that we love.
And I think this is where, as I listen to you, it's important, that legacy that people want to leave. At the end of the day, and I could be wrong, right? It isn't the statue, it isn't the published books or whatever. It's being remembered. Their great-great-grandchildren honestly remembers them for that thing. And in the Cayman context, where we're still very much history that is oral, we can think back to, great-grandmother who baked this thing. Right? And that recipe now is being passed on. That's a legacy. And
that's the beauty about Light Up Life as well. It's not just adults, like you said, it's a family-friendly event. So you'll see grandkids and great-grandkids that are there hanging their star on the tree and remembrance of someone that, a grandmother, a grandfather, someone they've lost already. Unfortunately, even maybe a parent. But it gives people the chance to see that, we all grieve, but together we can heal and we can continue to face the next day, to carry that memory forward. And you might not even talk about the person most of the time because you get busy with the season and busy with other things. But by taking that time, it actually, sometimes sparks conversations about the loved ones that night, to just remember them and just have that moment. And then throughout the month of December, our trees will be placed at several places like Foster's Cayman Bay. There's a couple other places I've gone blank, but
it's one of those days, right? You've got so much on.
I think it's normally by CMB, but they move, so I'm not sure exactly. Sophie has that one on tap, but but yeah, it'll be at different places, and the trees will be identifiable, so you know where you put your star. So you could technically then go throughout the season and go see your star on the tree again someplace else. And we've had that people do that. Families come to visit, and they're like, "Oh, come, let's go by there and see." Jasmine does have one of the trees. It'll come back to Jasmine, but you'll know where your star is gone, so that if you want to visit it throughout that season to remember that loved one, you can do it more than just that night.
It's something that was sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say too, I think that this event also gives a unique opportunity for families to have the conversation about how are we going to, remember our loved one during these holidays. How are we going to cope? Because sometimes we really sort of tiptoe around the fact that, okay, our loved one, isn't here, and we're all feeling the loss, but we don't always communicate it. And so I think this is a really great opportunity to have that conversation before we actually get to the holidays and have, and it's upon us. Use it as an opportunity to talk about this, like how are you feeling going into the holidays, and use it as a time to, I think, support each other.
I'm glad you shared that, because we're in the same wave. I was going to share that, especially special occasions, and especially this time of year, so many emotions, so many expectations, and this idea that it's obvious that people miss this person, no matter how gracious the person may be, or they've been the quietest person, but their absence is noticeable. I think back to, if you'll allow me to plug this for next year, if you missed it prior, our veterans have an annual gala, and all attendees, there is a meal served. Nobody's eating it, but it's a full course meal. What you're getting, this person gets, and it's in memory of the fallen soldier, right? And for me, it strikes a chord, because we all, in that circle, have someone who went, ultimately gave that sacrifice, and is no longer here. And that's when I talk publicly, and people may construe it politically. It's because if we have a democracy, I should be able to, as you, to agree and disagree publicly, respectfully and responsibly. But seeing that, you honor your respect. And in this instance, with this event, you may feel that you're the only one going through. You're reminded that there's 500 or 1,000 people as well, but you may still feel that it's just you. And you don't have to be alone. You don't have to be lonely.
Yeah, just like she was saying. So Sophie's listening, and so she says the other place is the cinema is one of the places. So it'll be at the cinema, and I think, like you said, I think they're still talking about Cayman National, but the new spot where it is. So there'll be different slots around, but they'll know where they are, so they'll have an opportunity. So the way the night works is basically we really, really encourage people to to order their stars ahead of the time. So they can go onto our website right now, www.jasmine.ky. And then hit the link Light Up a Life, and it'll take you straight to the registration form. On that form, you can put 1 to 100 people that you want to remember, however you want to. And you can just do that for a minimum donation of $10, or you could do $10 per person. All depends. It's going to a really good cause, but it's, based on what people want to do. This year we have a special memorial keepsake angel, a tiny little angel that'll have their name on it, so they can choose to do a $25 donation, which would include their star and this little angel that they'll actually get to take home and put on their own tree at home. So that's an option if people want to do that as well. And then other than that, we'll have, like I said, the National Choir. Pastor Randy comes and says a few words. It's an absolutely beautiful evening. We've got a new element added this year, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise. So
no, it's not me singing, okay? So you can
no,
come.
It's not him singing.
You can come. It's not me singing.
So I think it's going to be even more beautiful and even more special this year with our new element. And I think, everyone should take the opportunity. And, I know we all got busy schedules, and it's going to be hard to fit it in, but you won't regret taking that hour and a half out of your schedule. It's not a long thing. to be able to come and remember the people who have gone before us, that loved us, that made us who we are. And then also teaching our kids it's about more than just the Christmas season, but let's pay honor to this and just come out and love on each other in that regards. And it doesn't cost much, but definitely encourage you to go on our website and register ahead of time. You can get your star on the night, but then the lines are long and you don't want to be in a line while the singing is happening. You want to be able to sit and just be quiet in that moment. So I really encourage people to register ahead of time. And if they can't register on the night, it starts at 5:30. And so the singing and stuff will start at that time. And usually around 6 o'clock, just when the sun sets, we'll turn on the lights and people can hang their stars on the tree around that time. And so, I just encourage everyone to come on out to that for sure. And if you need more information or you're not a computer person, people have come into the office and registered, email us and say, hey, I'm not good with the website, but can you make 5 stars to me with these people's name on it? We'll have them ready for you.
And your office, just so that as we go into the break, tell us where your office is.
So we are 31 Jasmine Blossom Way, which is right off of West Bay Road, right behind Coconut Joe's. So if you look for that beautiful blue and yellow sign right beside Coconut Joe's, just come down that road. We're the only facility in there. So you can't miss us. So definitely stop in and order your star that way if that works better for you.
Well, I helped Miss Bernie and Miss Lenny with the garden one time, and it's a beautiful garden, so take time to look at the garden, right? Even this time of year. All right, let's go to the break. When we come back, I just want to share with us, because I think this time of year is so important for us to be remembered and to remember our loved ones without feeling the guilt, the shame, for actually fondly remembering them. All right, stay tuned for Talk Today.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Dwayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
When you want the best Black Friday deals in town, where do you go? Cellular World. Where can you buy smartphones starting at $99? Cellular World. Who has select iPhone and Samsungs up to 40% off for Black Friday? Cellular World. Who has the largest selection of headphones and Bluetooth speakers? Cellular World. Where can you save up to 40% on phone accessories like cases, wireless chargers, power banks, tripods, and ring lights? Cellular World. Who is the best at fixing and repairing damaged mobile phones? Cellular World. Catch the Black Friday sale on now at Cellular World, Cayman's one-stop shop for phones, accessories, and repairs. Located in Baytown Plaza across from the wharf.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
It is that time of the year when we at Puritan Cleaners remind our customers of the services we offer on drapes and all household items. Standard prepaid discounts apply. Call us today at 949-7104, Georgetown and Savannah Countryside. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you look good.
Please ensure that food preparation utensils are washed with a strong detergent and rinsed in hot water in the event that they have made contact with flood water. Boil silverware for 10 minutes and immerse glass, porcelain, china, and plastic items in a solution of hot water and 10% chlorine bleach before use.
For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DAH website at www.gov.ky/DAH.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks. And as we continue discussion with our good friends from Jasmine, just remember, Akal, can I say it publicly? Between 1 and 2, open line. Open line. Dun, 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 dun. Go back to the days of Doran Miller where we are, encouraging our democracy to share, especially with the Parliament meeting tomorrow. But Miss Felicia, we're cleaning together, Miss Rhonda Cornwall. Thanks both for sharing us and the invitation publicly, and for the public for taking up so willingly to light up a life, literally, and to celebrate. So it's next Tuesday.
Correct.
Okay, 5:30.
Cayman Bay.
And the new town that's blossoming.
Yes.
I must share though, you said just now the cinema. For those of us who are, a little bit older than the two of you, not the original cinema, okay, that's no longer there. Come you say the cinema, I go, the Kamala Bay cinema. She's like, there was a cinema
That would
there?
be the marquee.
Yeah.
Oh, so her looks below her age. Okay. I can see why. No, let me behave.
Listen, I remember that cinema when it was dirt there and the parking lot was full of dirt. Okay.
Was it Marl?
Marl, whatever.
It was Marl.
Marl, whatever.
And
It
we
was
used to
dirt
have
and dusty and you drove there.
go-karts. Sometimes in go-kart races there. You remember that? No, but those were the days, huh? And that is part of what I think makes Cayman so nice. And that, we have all the fanciness of the modern technology and but there's still that love and that reverence and respect. And for anyone who has been to an event, whether they're up front close to the choir in the tree or they're like some of us, that we hang back because we like our private spaces, we grieve privately, and we can be on the periphery and be as much as part of it without being front and center. And this, I know someone who they attend, I guess vicariously. They buy their thing, they give it to somebody to go, but they stay because for them it's deliberately a time of, being quiet, being still in their space. And it's important because you see it and it means something, right? We love, we live, we laugh, hey, and we learn.
Yeah. And I think the important thing about that too is, just to understand that we all grieve differently as well. And it's okay, however you need to grieve, it's okay to do that. But, again, I think these public displays of grief, I think allow us to see that it's okay for grief to exist in our lives as well, and not be ashamed that this is how I feel about losing someone that I love.
If I might ask though, that loss, it's probably we're feeling the loss of that companion, the presence of that person, the thing, whatever it was, right? But it also should allow us to look around and say, not in a callous instance that life goes on. It actually does. but then it should motivate you to take up the mantle and to honor their legacy by giving, contributing, excelling, striving, as it were. Would that be fine? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think times of loss, especially significant losses, are times that we can do some self-reflection, right? And determine, what do I want my life to be? Or, and even looking, like you mentioned, legacy. There's an opportunity for us to look at the legacy of our loved ones and say, okay, well, how do I carry on their legacy? How can I incorporate that into my life? How can I, for instance, if your loved one was someone who's known for giving, well, how can I be a more given person in honor of their memory as well? So I think it's a time for us to stop and say, okay, how can I be, make the most out of life and make and have a quality life as well.
Hey, Ms. Felicia, as I listen to that, I'm thinking sometimes, not just in families with a great grandparent and you, but even an extension, someone that's been in your life that not family, not connected through marriage. You see the similarities. You try to embody the virtues and the goodness in them. And maybe with a family member, your great grandmother was a phenomenal cook, and you realize you're gravitating towards this. You're honoring them, or they wanted something for you, and that may propel you
to keep going.
Right? Yeah. And do so with a guilt. I don't think it's inappropriate to share. In fact, she said, she asked me, what's on today? And I told her, and she said, okay. She wanted to travel to a certain place with this family member, right? And, being what has transpired in the last couple of years, that didn't happen. And then there was illness and, no longer possible. Now she's going to do it because, you know what? That person wanted.
Yes.
And you do it and you celebrate, and she's going to do it in her own way. Yeah. I thought, good for you. That's courage, but that's also honoring this person. You will not physically go to the space with that person. But man, when you get there and you see this thing, you know what? Whatever your belief system, that person might be there.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day is like, if me and Rhonda were planning a trip together.
Can I come? Sorry. I thought you were going somewhere.
I mean, while I want to go there, there's a part of me that's excited that Rhonda also gets to go there.
Yes.
And so even if the person has passed away and you can't go with them, you're honoring them by still fulfilling what you guys wish to do together, because they would just be as happy to know that you actually went as they would have been to go themselves, And so, I mean, I encourage them, and I think it's great that person is doing that. It's not necessarily easy, because the person that is left behind is grieving still. And obviously, as they get there and they do these things, they're going to think, wouldn't have been great if this person was with me. But remembering that, you were able to still see that dream that you guys had together come through is what you'd focus on, to really help you enjoy it and just honor that person each step of the way. And maybe you find a new ritual, I leave a little bit of something behind, like maybe, something she likes or something she would do. And or if there was coffee shops, visit a coffee shop in remembrance of her, have a coffee cup, like you said, with the remembrance. You put it there. She's not here, but she's with me in spirit,
Exactly.
There are tons of ways, and that's what I love about Memory Circle. There's just so many ways that Rhonda shares about how to deal with, something we planned together but couldn't happen, might be a topic for the month, and we share them ahead of time so that you know kind of what to expect. And it's kind of like, I'm going to work and I feel guilty for being X. Like, there's lots of different things, and Rhonda's amazing with the Memory Circle, with helping people to deal with different things that comes up. And then you get to hear not only Rhonda's solution, but other people's solutions of how they dealt with it.
And then having it beforehand, you get a chance to think about it. And for some of us, it gives us that thing, right? But I want to ask, not just a reminder of when Memory Circle is, and you say once a month, but some of you shared, guide me. There's this guilt that we have for living, right? Remorse and all these things, and those who have the good professional counsel of people like Ms. Rhonda can understand that. But if you're the one that is left and you're mourning, you can not feel guilty about embracing life and seeing the value of life. Is it Confucius to say, out of chaos there's opportunity, in death there's life, right? For you. And if you would use that to propel, give you the momentum. Yeah,
I think it definitely so, but everyone in their own time. There's a lot of times people get caught up and be like, come on, Rhonda, you should be fine now, because it's been this much time, and there's life in it, so we're just going to take the life. I think the beautiful thing with Memory Circle and with any good grief support group is that It's all on your time. I think people get there in their time. There's no right or wrong way to get there. You don't have to cross here, jump that one, do this one. No. It's who they are and then taking their time to get there. But definitely, I think.
Yeah, and I just want to add as well. I think the good thing about that happens at Memory Circle is that individuals are able to come and be as they are. And know that, if they want to share, they share. If they don't, that's okay as well. Yeah. It's a supportive environment where people are allowed to just be. And Felicia touched upon it in terms of not only, do the attendees hear from me or, Jill, the co-host as well, but from each other as well. And that's real experience because sometimes they share things that they've been through that can be helpful for the other attendees. And so it's just really a fellowship community and one that allows people to, grow and be who they need to be in the moment.
You feel the empathy. So Memory Circle is once a month?
Yes. The second Wednesday of every month at Jasmine. It begins at 6:30. And I actually would like to invite the community, anyone, who would like to attend. We're having the last Memory Circle for the year, which is on the 13th of December. And it's going to be more of a social gathering as well. So, it's a perfect time to come and, get to know those who are attending and maybe, figure out if this is a group for you, but in a more social setting. And so, it'll be a great way of sort of doing some reflective, we're going to look past the year and do some fun things as well.
Yeah. Definitely encourage people to come out to that. And you can call ahead and let us know you're coming, but you don't have to. You could just show up on the moment. 6:30. December the 13th at Jasmine Villa, yet again, off West Bay Road, behind Coconut Joe's. We'd love to have you. Rhonda and Jill, they do an amazing job creating just the perfect space for every and anyone who's lost someone to be able to come out and just fellowship together, like she says, and lean on each other.
Well, we certainly look forward to having you guys on as we had every month. And thanks for even me sometimes have emotions. I'm not a robot. Despite being, so next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday, 5:30, Commander Bay, Light Up a Life. Come on out, order your stars early to avoid the long lines. You will enjoy the evening, even though it might not be the most fun event of your thing. It'll be the most memorable for sure, meaningful one in that regards. And come on out, $10 donation for the star. Go on our website, register, email us, call us, stop by. We'd love to see you. And we look forward to seeing everyone out at Light Up a Life next Tuesday.
If you wish to share, Ms. Rhonda.
Again, it's an excellent opportunity for family, get together, support each other, show support, for those who may be grieving as well. If maybe you haven't lost someone, but someone who has, come along with them as well, and let's honor our loved ones.
Thank you. I like that you want to click it because I was going to say my words were strength and support. Be there for that person. You'll grow strength from what's happening, but you'll also be supportive. And this time of year is challenging in many ways for many. Even those of us who smile and people might say, look at that green teeth fool, not a care in the world. Hey, just because you carry the load all on your own, you make it look easy. It doesn't mean that it is, right? But you have to, because what's the alternative? That's why I'm so grateful for what Jasmine does, to Ms. Rhonda for that support, and for this community for being what it is. We can chastise and criticize and critique, but we can also be constructive and loving and kind. And that's what we should dwell on. So it is. I look forward to seeing you when I see you. And if not before, I see you when I do. And to our listeners, after the news, there's going to be some open line. I won't sing, but I will shine. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
The second special meeting of the 2023-2024 session of Parliament is scheduled for tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. and at the top of the agenda, the election of a new Speaker. Sir Alden McLaughlin is expected to be elected to serve as Speaker, barring any late developments to the contrary. In accordance with the Constitution, members will need to elect the new Speaker by majority vote. Other business on the agenda, the Beneficial Ownership Transparency Bill, the National Pensions Amendment Bill, and several government motions. In international headlines, Israel and Hamas have agreed on a truce to free hostages in a swap, raising hopes of halting the war in Gaza. Officials say Israel and Hamas have agreed to a 4-day ceasefire. This would facilitate the release of dozens of hostages held by militants, as well as Palestinians imprisoned by Israel, also resulting in a large influx of aid to the besieged territory. An exploding population of hard-to-eradicate super pigs in Canada is threatening to spill south of the border, impacting northern U.S. states like Minnesota, North Dakota, and Montana, who are all taking steps to stop this invasion. In Canada, the wild pigs roaming Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba pose a new threat. They're often crossbreeds that combine survival skills of wild Eurasian boar with the size and high fertility of domestic swine to create a super pig that researchers say is spreading out of control. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
It's one of the best moments of your life when you welcome your baby into the world. The HSA's experienced women's health and maternity team provides the highest quality of care throughout your pregnancy and delivery. As a JCI accredited hospital, we are the leader in maternal care, safely delivering over 700 babies annually. Visit hsa.ky for more information. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott was a quiet-natured child who liked going on the bluff with his grandfather Oscar Brown, swimming every Saturday evening and playing cricket down where Miss Alame's house sits now. He was very studious at Creek Elementary School and did very well under the tutelage of his favorite teacher, Miss Isley Connolly in BE. Following the tragic death of his father at sea, at age 14 he left school to work with Arnold Foster to support his family. In 1953, he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to boatswain. From 1953 until 2006, some 52 years, Captain Scott made his living working off the seas.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us, and thanks to our listeners for not only paying attention but for sharing their thoughts. It's going to be open line as we mentioned for the next hour as we go straight to your phones. Hey, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Hey, good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, my good friend. How's life on, some would say, the better part of Cayman? How are you, man?
I don't know if you want to call it paradise, but hopefully that it remains that way.
Well, with anything, from the tree that bears fruit, it has to be pruned and tended to properly. And like a space, it has to be preserved, promoted, and protected. So it is paradise, my friend, if the people, pause it to make it such.
That's right. It depends on the people.
Yep.
I just wanted to mention a couple of things while it just open line for now.
Of course, man.
One of the things I wanted to speak about was the NAU with the help of the people, and I don't really hear much complaints about people from Little Cayman, but I have been, Sterling, honestly, I want to tell you a word of lie. I've been having people call me from Grand Cayman and asking me to speak regarding NAU with how they're treating their own Caymanians in their assistance of whether it's anything to do with the housing or something to do with the apartment wise, helping with their bills to help pay their finances and for their rent and so forth. And it's mind-boggling to know that we have a government that created, and I said this before, that we have a government that created a body such as NAU that was supposed to have been embedded into the system for the people of the Cayman Islands and the Caymanians only. But Sterling, today, the Caymanian people are the ones that are crying, needing the help, and the ones that is in charge is overlooking, because one of the things that spoils Sterling, and I said it many times, one of the things that creates problems in our islands is when we put people in the system that knows you, they are not going to help. And if we put people there that don't know you, they're going to help the ones that they know from their country. And it's a sad situation to know that, as let's take for instance Paloma and Hurricane Ivan. That was a long, long time ago. And we still have people with tarps on their roofs, homes leaking, and they're up to now, the people are becoming more elderly than anything else. They don't have the kind of finances that other people can go and find insurance companies to repair their homes and have these things covered. The NAU was created for that purpose, to help the people in need. And we have a problem here on this island, and I am understanding that it's twice as bad as in Grand Cayman. I really and truly hear people come on the talk show, and I watch it on the YouTube. I watch it on the TV show when it come on the national television. I watch those people that have that is involved with NAU, and they'll sit there and say that everything is under control. People are getting help. Nobody's getting no help. What's happening is election time is coming up around the corner next year, and everybody that is in higher position or in mid-section position are trying to throw everything they can in order to cover their tracks before these times arise. How it is that they would like to know that they would have to wake up in the middle of the night with rain dripping on them and their children catching colds or pneumonia from the moles up in the homes was promised. Let's put it that way. That was promised to be fixed. Now, government can't come up with solutions. Simple solutions, Sterling. I don't understand. One old man had said it took 19 of them to make a choosing. Loving Jesus, you got to tell me that it take 19 of them to still today to come up with a solution to help people. We have lands here in Grand Cayman. We have lands here in Cayman Brac. And you got to tell me government can't allocate a piece of property and use containers and build container homes and integrate those things into the ground where hurricane can't tumble them over from the winds when it comes. Those things are being used worldwide today because people can't afford lumber. Lumber is through the roof around the world, Sterling. and they come into the conclusion of using containers. The government should have this implemented long time into the system in order to have people that have their homes destroyed, have them housed in these kind of environments, the little container homes, until, because remember one time they had these, what they were called again? The trailer homes.
Yeah.
Remember when they had them? And it seemed like they wasn't working because the material breaking down and all kind of things. They don't last as long. And I don't understand how it is that they can't see ahead of their pockets and realize that the people are struggling. People are suffering in these little islands that shouldn't be. All we sitting down worrying about is who's going to be this one in the next house, who's going to be that one in the next house, Sterling. And they didn't even realize that, listen, we are worrying about ourselves, but we still haven't covered the people yet. If Sterling, this is all I'm trying to say. If those that out there that are calling themselves leaders, if they can't lead the people, how in the name of the sweet Lord above are they going to accomplish anything for the country if they can't lead the people first?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So, and I really appreciate you sharing, right? So I was reading some stuff while you were speaking and paying attention, and I wanted to ask, hopefully maybe I'll come back to this comment from this listener who wants to pick up on some of the things you shared. But you were referencing container homes, and part of what the individual shared and part of something prior, how do we ensure that the approach to housing, like you said, is structurally sound, it's appropriate for the area in terms of hurricanes and the like, but how do we ensure that whatever that looks like, this person's comment was, in the past we would have this notion of a temporary home. A person would build it on, for those who don't know, on the lot somewhere close to the boundary, sometimes with or without planning permission, probably sometimes without, and the view that they would start their house and 30, 40 years later, it's still a temporary home, the house isn't in the further on, right? So this individual is saying, how do we avoid, you developing this tenement yards, this type of housing that is potentially unsafe when we have weather systems like hurricanes and the like, and by the same token embracing containers and others that gives a way to use an approach that may be more sustainable, more financially feasible. One individual that can access it sent me a link to an article from one of the local media outlets about some containers now being subject to planning removal because of the way that they're being utilized for housing. You recall, I think it was the 99 census when some of the enumerators reported through the ESO that there were people living in these metal-like structures that were akin to ovens. Now, how do we make sure that we're providing housing that is safe, sanitary, and the like, without us building structures and developing communities that are not even substandard, that are unsafe, not even unsightly, but unsafe?
Well, I don't know how someone can say that those container homes are unsightly.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand how they can say it's unsafe, because when you take, let me give you an illustration.
Mm-hmm.
In a certain area of Florida, if you drive cross and you put your eyes on a certain home and that tour guide says to you, those are container homes, Sterling, your jaw will drop to your knee.
Right.
You would not believe that there are container homes. Now, if they're so unsafe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those things has to be, like I said, those things have to be embedded into the earth. They just can't be just resting on the ground.
Right.
And an idiot would know that can't work. But all is said and done. Now, they can say that is unsafe, right? But yet they can call Home Depot in order a metal building and put that down on the foundation and say, I got to make a home out of that and I can live in that.
So
no, come on.
Let me, if I might, the exchange with the individual who was messaging, I think I can paraphrase with the person's consent what was shared. And your message, your call is timely because this message came through prior. One of the things I'm going to share during this open segment, and the person messaged back and said, great minds think alike in referencing what you shared, right? This person said that, just for clarity, we're talking about shipping containers, right, where we bring our goods in, as you just said, and these are some of the most structurally stable things because they're moved all over the world, and they bring our goods in from our foods to our building supplies. And this person has relayed that presumably the reference is through planning has been asking for years, allow us to build, because it's innovative, it's repurposing, and it's structurally sound, and has alleged now that there have been proposals by some, and the allegation is on the high end to build using this because it's new age, new wave, and sustainable, but discouraging the construction and the use of the containers on the lower housing end in terms of cost, because it's going to appeal to this other group, this socioeconomic group. And the person's parting words is that, we seem to allow some to benefit at the expense of others. So it ties in with your comment, right? Why can't we use it? And why do we, as you shared with the Florida example, you wouldn't know unless you were told that those are shipping containers to build those structures.
Exactly. And another thing, if let's say, for instance, if the government is the ones that are resisting this type of infrastructure in the country, such as the area out of the way, we're not talking about putting it in a community or anything. We're talking about lot in some way where they have these things put down, where people can go there and have somewhere to house themselves out of the elements of life. And if they are the ones that are resisting that these things are being implemented, or these things can be implemented in the planning system, why then it is that they allow planning to put a 2-ton boulder on the side of the road that can roll on a human being, but can't involve putting a human being in something that can secure their life and help them along the run, along in life. Right. It's to me, it's nothing but stupidity to say planning has to agree with these things. Planning has to make their rulings, and planning has to go against things. Yeah, we understand that. But the whole issue of it is, why it is then, if they can't come to a conclusion of trying to help the people of Cayman to get something simple as a container home, why it is that the government not implementing these affordable homes and stop giving the people that are not called Caymanian, and I'm not calling Caymanian, I'm not talking about those by paper. I'm talking about the Caymanians that were born and bred here, not brought in here by plane. Those are the people that have needs of a home. Why it is then that the government all these years can't have those things put in place? Every year they build 6. How be building 6 homes to accommodate 600 people?
But to your point, though, I mean, when you said, build these out of the way somewhere, just to engender greater conversation, I'm of the view, given what my friends in that area have, as you have highlighted as an example in Florida, you see many of these structures, not only are they structurally sound, they're aesthetically pleasing, they're very functional, and they're cost effective. One individual said to me, there's a difference between affordable housing and low cost housing, right? And why not allow an individual to build using that material, the containers, it's repurposed, it's structurally sound, it can be, quite beautiful, to be built here in this gated community that is supposedly high end, filled with a bunch of people that, I got my views about them and some of them, but can also be built here in this little small plot of land somewhere in this little part of the community. Should it matter? Should we not allow it to be built wherever?
Exactly.
In Cayman, I don't know. We can import a lot, but can we import more land? I mean, we can dredge and extend and fill in the swamps and the mangroves and the lagoons and what have you. But in absence of that, can we import more land? Can we not use the land? And when we do increase density, why is it to the so-called developer only, not to me and you, who have a piece of property? And why can't we build on that to house me and you, the brother and the sister and the parents?
And what is causing the problem with that, Sterling, is because you have these foreign entities that come into this country called contractors. And they want to make sure that they're not going there to put a roof and siding on a container and make $200,000. They want to make sure that they make millions of dollars building you a home.
Right.
That you struggle for the rest of your entire life. Your children gonna come behind you and pay it.
Right.
These are the things that should be looked into. And just to come off of that, that is what the next thing I wanted to get at, but
Yeah.
I probably used not too much time.
No, go ahead. The gentleman says there's nobody else on call, so
Okay.
you can take an extra minute or two. We can exit now. It's your call, my friend. Literally.
All right, good. Because it boils down into the next point I wanted to make to add into that. No, me and you in Grand Cayman and I here in Cayman Brock, me and you dealing with the same bank. Me and you have the same job. I am working for, let's say I'm working for immigration and you are working for immigration in Grand Cayman. Two of us making the same salary. We are on different islands and we dealing with the same bank. Now I can go into the bank here and be approved for $250,000 to $300,000. You can go into the same bank, same job in a different island and approve for $1 million or $750,000. Now you tell me, where do that make sense? We separated by 90 miles of water. We're dealing with the same banking entity. We're dealing with the same government department job, but yet we cannot have the bank in Cayman Brock can't give me the same amount of money that they give you in Grand Cayman. So here on the Brock, if we can only allow to buy a little $30,000 piece of property, that alone takes us a long time to pay it back. Now we got to sit down and try to figure out what we're going to put on that $30,000 piece of land. Can I afford a $100,000 house, or can I put down a little $15,000 shack onto my piece of property? Now planning comes in. Then everything comes into view. But if government implement things about it benefits the people, we wouldn't be crying, or the people wouldn't sound like they're crying for the help that they need to get the things that they need into this country.
Yeah.
What they need proper housing, they need a proper salary, they need a proper banking system that can help them. These kind of things, Sterling, we need, especially here in Cayman Brock, because I don't know, I clearly I can understand how it works here, man, but it doesn't work like that here.
But let me.
Go ahead.
Sorry, let me ask. In that both things seem to be connected in a sense, right? And why, as I've heard many on Grand Cayman as Brackers who live here, many Brackers who are still in the Brack share, why is it if it's one country that somehow we make rules that sometimes, and this hopefully is an accurate recollection of what they have shared, with planning, for instance, and with the granting of permits for workers and the like, why is government so easy to give concessions, not just with do the waivers and fees and planning applications that could potentially be to the long-term detriment of the BRAC, right? Without necessarily facilitate. No, there was a discussion aimed at any particular government of the day. It was just a policy that's there, right?
Yeah.
But with that in mind, the other sentiment is when it comes to, say, a 40-year mortgage. A friend of mine in Canada shared something that they've seen that increasingly in Canada as well. Presumably with what the interest rates like everywhere else is going, and with some of the things that his view is, politically driven. And with a 40-year mortgage at a a 30 or a 25-year-old, you're looking at a long time. What is that interest rate and the repayment over that life of that that loan? Now his view was, when we pressed him, that unless refinance is the fixed amount over the 40 years, so you know your budget. But when you are borrowing at what the interest rate is for that amount of time, look how much money you repaid. Even when you do the discounted cash flow, factoring projected inflation, you might say the purchasing power of that dollar today isn't what it's going to be 40 years, right? How does that then play out in the Cayman marketplace, where your lending is going to be 25, 35, 40 years, but with a fluctuating interest rate, you could see a loan that you'll never repay?
But how it is that they can, a bank, let's say, for instance, let's use a person age, for example.
Yeah.
A 50-year-old person can go to a bank and borrow a loan of $250,000 to $500,000.
Uh-huh.
Now, that person is already midway through their life at 50 years old. How can the bank tell them they will give them a loan for 40 years? Now, remember, now they're 50.
Uh-huh.
And that loan is going to be for a 40 years fixed term. For them to have what they need. For goodness sake, I mean, come on. Where is the common sense behind the rational what the word I was looking for? The equation of working out the figures of having a 40-year-old term loan on to a 50-year-old person that should not even get, but that is what is happening here.
Okay. Two things, right? And I not in that spirit anymore. I did ask someone recently, and I didn't. I know they got busy, and I wouldn't press them for an answer, so I will. But two things as we go into the break. There was a practice. I don't know if it's still the case in Cayman with our new emerging approach to Constitution and the Bill of Rights and whatever else the banking practices may dictate now. But I was of the view, and I understand that this was the practice, that your lending did not exceed 60 and now 65 years of age. So if you were at 50, the longest you would get was then 10 years and now 15. Unlike what I'm told in the US, for instance, where it doesn't matter your age, that facility can be, for the 20, 30, 40 years, no matter your age, once you qualify then and there. But on top of that, I gather that in some instances, the loan may be amortized, it may be over 30, 40 years, but is expected to be repaid in 5, 10 years when you will get to the age of 60 or 65 or whatever that trigger point is, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is that there's a huge sum of money that has to be found to repay that lending at that point, as I'm told, right? Which has caused a number of people. I don't know that there's any great merit in this, but concept that has been proposed here, following what is a practice in other jurisdictions of this, my words, and you can take issue with it, you personally, you otherwise, absolute stupidness, this reverse mortgage, right? You got a person who has debt-free or somewhat debt-free asset, then in order to live on, borrows against it, and end of the time, it doesn't go to the estate or to whomever, it then goes to the lender. That seems to be fairly nonsensical. Now, people might say, well, how do you live on it? Well, the bigger issue is, have we created a society that has now caused that person to work all life to get something, now to lose it at the end of the day?
So when it comes down, Sterling, for the last little point here, so when it comes down to, let's say, the little poor man that working on the side of the road, cleaning the road, that making a little week salary. So they're telling me basically that all of these affordable homes that they're going to be building and issuing in the future, they're going to tell me that which is supposed to be for that same little Caymanian that out there breaking his back here, they're in the hot sun chopping that bush. They got to tell me that the loan payment that he can pay on that home for the amount of money he making, that the government, public works or whoever is paying them, that they can adequate for the amount in order to balance out that loan in order to build to buy that home.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you with this. Right?
Something is missing there.
Yeah. I'll leave you.
I mean, I do my calculation all the time, Sterling, and what I get no doubt, it just doesn't add up.
Okay. Well, one individual has messaged and asked in relative, I presume, I don't like to assume, but I presume in this context they're referring to the government scheme and the like. This person has asked, I was trying to rephrase it. I don't want to phrase it the way it was written, but alleging that many of the purchasers of those homes are not necessarily Caymanian. If that's the case, why is that allowed? Is it being used? And we have to wonder. We have to wonder because Anyway.
Yes, because I mean, Sterling, I built a lot of those homes here on the block for the affordable homes. I built a lot of them.
Okay.
The contractor, and I know what the recommendations for them homes were, and the title on that was Caymanians only. Sterling, I can take you there to that. It's not very much Caymanians in them anymore.
Yeah, well, we have.
That is not right.
Yeah. Keep us posted, right? Keep us with the perspective as you find it. So at least it may not only inform, but may cause people to at least inquire. So thanks very much, right?
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right, enjoy your afternoon, Bo. Let's pause. Let's take a break. It's going to be open line for the next half an hour. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Cayman Islands, clear your calendars because something extraordinary is coming your way. Ignite the Fire, hosted by Christ for All Nations, is roaring into the Lions Center from November 29th to December 3rd. Join us for an epic worship and gospel event, a monumental move of God that will transform lives and reveal destinies. Don't miss this 5-night, once-in-a-generation experience. Be a part of history in the making. Ignite the Fire, Cayman. Mark your date, November 29th to December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. nightly, and get ready for an unforgettable spiritual journey that will set your heart ablaze. Cayman and you will never be the same again.
I love Pizza Boat. It's yummy. It has my two favorite things combined, cheese and boats. Pizza Boat makes pizza way more fun.
Hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Kids, now Pizza Boat makes pizza even more fun. Lunch or dinner, let Pizza Boat bring the fun. Pizza Boat, a Cayman twist to pizza, bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas all day, every day. Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery 949-0000 or order online www.pizzaboat.ky.
Kirk Freeport's 4-day Black Friday weekend is back from Thursday 23rd to Monday 27th. Kirk Freeport will have once-in-a-year deals that must end on Monday. Find unbeatable deals on jewelry, watches, and fragrances across the Kirk Freeport network, including Kirk Freeport at the Strand and Bayshore Mall and La Parfumerie at Bayshore Mall and Cardinal Avenue. And there's more. The Kirk Freeport pop-up store on Cardinal Avenue is back with the craziest deals of all, up to 75% off. The biggest luxury sale of the year is here for 4 days only. Visit kirkfreeport.com for details.
Shop in store or online for the extraordinary Black Friday sale at Tomlinson Furniture and Mattress Gallery. 2 days, in store only, Friday the 24th and Saturday the 25th of November. Store-wide savings on everything in stock, up to 50% off, plus a free gift with purchase. Online shoppers can save on Cyber Monday with huge savings of everything from TomlinsonFurniture.ky. This is the largest sale of the year. The perfect time to replace your mattress, buy your bedroom set, sofas, and anything you need for the home. Hurry in for Tomlinson Furniture's Black Friday in-store sale this Friday and Saturday. And Cyber Monday sale, save up to 50% off. Tomlinson Building on Walkers Road.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And this one open line. Let's take a couple of calls. Go to the first one. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hey, how are you, my friend? How are you today?
Okay, man. You okay?
Oh, man. I'm thank God. But how do I sound? Do I sound okay to you?
Man, you sound like Superman.
Wow, you say, Bobo.
Yeah.
Good fish, man. Good fish.
Yeah, but anyway, I heard that gentleman talking just now about containers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was sometime last week I heard on the news, the Al Jazeera station there. And there was a gentleman on the news. I can't remember the name of the country right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember. And he was speaking about his people not being able to afford to rent apartments from private individuals because they were too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Which meant then if the government had to pay for those people, it was going to cost the government more too.
Right.
Helping them in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So the gentleman said, he was a big-time official in the government from that country. He said they built 21,000 apartments for their people at a price where everyone was able to afford to pay for it. So that is something what the government got 300 acres of land up in East End. They got enough space to build enough apartments to do the same thing. And like I said, there will be less money for them having to pay for people monthly and giving it to private individuals. It's better for them. That's why it's so important to collect these concessions, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I would like to find out over the last 20 years how much concessions they gave away to rich people. You see when you give rich people money, Dwayne, you can't get no worse than that. You can't get no worse than that. Not when that money belongs to the people of the Cayman Islands, especially how things are now financially for a lot of people in the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Government needs to start collecting these concessions. And if these people have a problem about giving concessions to the government to help our people to get things such as these apartments, not only these apartments, we need hurricane shelters. We need hurricane shelters in this country. I know you've been to 12 Mile Bank already, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, it was fun down there?
No, I'm not planning on it either. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
Okay? And all 2 times I came back in towards Turtle Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're coming back into Cayman from the 12-mile bank,
Mm-hmm.
coming into the turtle farm, Cayman is in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So when they say that Cayman is 3 feet below sea level, that ain't no lie, Dwayne. That is facts. So if that ocean decides, if God forbid, if that comes ashore, Dwayne,
Mm-hmm.
and we have people in hurricane shelters that are level with the ground, right? It's going to be very, very bad. Government needs to start collecting these concessions, building these hurricane shelters with foundations at least 10 feet in height, and that can hold and can hold at least 1,200 people.
Yeah, man. You've been a champion for that, and I think it's starting to resonate with some people. All right.
Dwayne, you know something?
Mm-hmm.
I read something to you before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll read it to you again.
Yes, please.
Just in case you don't remember, right?
No, share it, man.
I
Share it.
gotta read something to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you listen carefully when I read this,
Okay.
because this is exactly what not only the Cayman Islands, are doing to their people. This is happening all over the world. Okay. Efforts to establish a justice system that really works seem to have failed. Many fall victim to cruelty and oppression, finding themselves in a helpless situation. What makes things worse is that there are people in powerful positions who, instead of upholding justice, oppress their poor fellow men. That is King Solomon wrote that. And he was known to be the wisest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just having a lot of money. We also need trade schools in this country, Dwayne. Dwayne, right now, we're supposed to have a trade school in every district in this country, that our young people can ride their bicycles to the trade school, go home for lunch, and come back and go back straight back to the trade school instead of just being idle and getting in trouble and destroying their lives. The government just taking our money, giving it to rich people when we need that money to help our people here in the Cayman Islands. Look at Northwood Prison. They just had a fire up there, or some kind of fire up there a few days ago.
Yesterday, I think it was. Huh?
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a warning, Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
That's a warning. A prison inspector came to Cayman Islands about 15 years ago. And he inspected Northwood Prison. And he said it's a disgrace for a country with so much finances to have that type of prison. Okay?
Yeah, man.
So the government, or governments in the past too, I don't understand what they're really thinking about, Dwayne. But you see when people put you in positions to help the poor people and you refuse to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I know people might think, well, nobody can do me nothing and so forth and this and that, right?
Mm.
But you see when you face God not joking with nobody, Dwayne. When God give you the privilege, right, and the power to help the poor people of your country and you refuse to do so, you rather help a rich man, you're not getting away with that, Dwayne.
Yeah, we all face the day of judgment, eh?
Yeah, and look here, let me tell you something else. You see eternity. You see hell. You see hell when you go to hell. That's not 3 million years and then you come out, That's forever.
Yeah.
So let them think hard and strong about that, because let me tell you something. Those people that refuse to help the poor people of the Cayman Islands, that have the powerful positions to do so, that is the direction they're headed. And listen to me now. You know what they're doing, Dwayne?
Mm.
You know what they're doing, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. He not said, Father, forgive them, even though they know what they're doing,
Mm.
Thank you very much, man.
You're most welcome, man. Thanks for calling. And let's take one other call. Welcome. Thank you for sharing. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
How are you today, man? How are you?
Oh, man, not as good as you as usual.
Well, I find that we benchmark in business and we can do the same, take a page from the life of others that we believe can influence and motivate us. So thank you for your kind words, and hopefully as I inspire you, I know I am also inspired by others, But
Yeah,
talk to me.
I believe, as Mr. You said he might look alike. Mr. Aaron Neville, he got a song called "I Believe," and it's more like optimistic. Optimism. We got to be optimistic. We got to believe. I did football. I played football. I played. We got to believe that we can win. Us. We can do it. You contribute. You be. You cheer on your team. You cheer on Team Cayman. Even in politics, they had Team Cayman years ago. A lot of people don't even know that, and some don't remember that. But you got to cheer the team on, and believe that we can do it. Us. We can do it. We can work together, majority people, and build like how the mason man, and he got his laborer, and he says, pass me that a bucket of cement, let me put this on that he can plaster the wall and he can lay the blocks, but there has to be a foundation. And years ago, they used to call certain people the foundation people, or they would say that's the foundation man. You got to believe that we can build a city together, not destroy it, that we can build the city. And I believe in the wealthy city, I believe in the wealthy city. We got a lot good going on for us, and we got to get the majority of people together, us, rise together, to work together to make this country better.
You are right.
We can do it.
I like the fact that you speak into unity always, right?
Yeah.
And a coach would say there's no I in team. And sometimes the we is one person, right? But that one person can motivate, inspire, as others can see that and draw strength. So, in listening to you, as we perhaps go to the break shortly, the notion of what is happening, let's just limit it to the Cayman Islands, all right? And let's maybe initially limit it to the spaces that we occupy and the places that we go.
Of course.
How do we bring that sense of unity? How do we get people to respect and value what is before us, to recognize that there are things that could be better if A, we did better, or B, we didn't do some of the things we were doing?
But Mr. Sterling, let's get back to this other one now. You remember five-a-side. Five-a-side. What I would bring Cayman together, boy.
With the wood walls or with the cement walls when we advance later on?
No, the cement walls, and then you kick on the you kick the ball on the wall and you kick it to your partner.
No, I got you.
Yeah. So all these things, football unites us, basketball unites us. It's not like, we don't support. We believe in it. Get admission and free admission here and there because a lot of people can't afford things. They talk about heritage days, but people just don't have some don't have a car, some don't have the gas.
Yeah, man.
They can't afford to take a drive, so it ain't like I've been looking into it.
Yeah, man.
But we got a good thing. We just have to be optimistic. I believe in optimistic is hope. Am I right, Mr. Sterling?
You have to have hope, right? And when you're optimistic and you're positive, you have more, right? I appreciate what you share, man. Always, man. You're optimistic. You have hope. All right.
Yeah, we can't believe in hopelessness. We gotta believe and hope. I wrote a story. There's still hope. And I had some Caymanian characters in that story, I tell you, and the star was hopeless, but the end result was good, which was the end of the story was good, good resolution, so something like that. But we have to believe in hope, believe that we can achieve and it can get better. you got the man that has such a terrible time in life. He's suffering, and the man that's living wonderful, he's saying, "Oh, I can't take it anymore. I want to speed my car."
But this is it, man. You draw alongside, you support, you offer hope, you be the example. My friend, you keep pressing on, man. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Talk to you soon again. Cool?
Yes, sir.
All right. A man offers hope. His words are encouraging, and he reminds us of, unifying. All right, let's pause, and when we come back, we want you to join us. We're going to invite some others into the studio. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Attention, sneakerheads and fashion enthusiasts. Are you ready to step up your game? Welcome to the Hot Zone, located in Cannon Place, where the hottest brands come to life. We've got the top brands that set the trends. Nike, Jordan, Puma, Adidas, Reebok. Whether you're all about that street style or need some killer kicks to level up your game, we've got you covered. A wide selection of Calvin Klein and Nike apparel and the latest soccer gear at your fingertips. Our shelves are stocked with the latest releases, exclusive collaborations, and limited edition sneakers that'll make heads turn wherever you go. Don't miss out on the hottest drops.
Black Friday sale 20% and up Thursday through Saturday with 2 convenient locations in Cannon Place and Lamar Village in West Bay.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And as we go into our news break, we'll spend a couple of minutes with a good friend, Ms. Pamela Webster from the Pink Ladies. There's the annual Christmas Bazaar coming up already this Saturday. Ms. Pam, how are you?
I'm great. Can you believe tomorrow's Thanksgiving American, and here we are in the Christmas season?
Yep.
Woo!
You know, I miss pushing the trolley with you at the hospital, man.
You know what? I was going to bring that up. Yes. No, Sterling, Dwayne Ebanks, did push the Pink Ladies trolley around the hospital. I challenged you. I think it was 2013, 2014.
We've done it for a while. And what's interesting, the reason why I remember that is it's not a boast. It's the scripture talks about humility before honor. And we don't know, at least in my mind, there are experiences that are humbling. And some people have a particular connotation, as I think it's correct. And then there's a sense of humility, right? And I look at some of us who give of themselves, the time, the talent, the treasure, as Miss Marlin talks about. And we are, the servant leader. We serve. It's not the same as subservient. And in serving, you get to appreciate that giving, serving, you get so much. You see the invaluable contribution. And you and the good folks and the Pink Ladies, with what you do, not just the funds that the community helps and support, but the way it's done. And this annual bazaar, I think, showcases the talents of some of our creatives. It reminds us of the connections that we have, but it's also a great way to fellowship, So I appreciate looking forward to this discussion.
Thank you. Yes, the Pink Ladies has probably one of the longest histories in charity here in the Cayman Islands, with a varied and vast history, but always coming together for a common mission statement to serve the community. And this Saturday we celebrate it by opening up to the public it's been over 35 years of the Christmas Bazaar.
Wow.
And we've done it in churches. We've done it in town halls. We've done it across the community. It's grown. But we do love our new home, which is Camana Bay, the ARC, Arts and Recreation Center, which is attached to the International School, with plenty of parking. And it's been our home for almost a decade now. And it's just a beautiful gymnasium. And it's not just the Pink Ladies Bazaar anymore. After over 35 years. I'm trying to calculate the years. I've been polling everybody. It's like, I'll go into the history of Miss Olive Miller and how we founded the Pink Ladies back in 1980. So we got to get some calculators out for all these years. But the lovely thing is, for the last almost decade, with COVID in between, we've had a home for the Pink Ladies Christmas Bazaar at the Arts and Recreation Center, the gymnasium at CIS School, which is huge. And we flipped it around a couple years ago. So instead of raising our $20,000 as a goal in an afternoon, we've actually invited the charities that we raise money for to have their own tables. So when you come down this Saturday to Camana Bay at 2 o'clock, and by the way, the ticket is still $5. That's the tradition I don't think will ever change. $5, come on down for a tea, snacks, amazing bazaar. We'll go into the details. But there'll also be your other favorite charities there, fundraising for themselves.
Yes.
NCVO, Jasmine. I think we have one of the animal charities. And we have invited the people we support to come and shine themselves.
And we get a chance to see the support, but see for ourselves and have them share their story. As we go into our news break, a great preview. We come back for a few minutes and talk about it, and the wonderful foods and plants and the like that is there, but also the beauty of giving, especially at this time of year. So a few more minutes with you after the news to talk about the invitation for Saturday at the Bazaar.
This Saturday, 2 o'clock, Camana Bay.
Perfect. Stay tuned. Join us right after.
Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart. The soul of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
A 4-week murder trial's underway. Sean Antonio Jackson, Matthew Stefan Glasgow, and Jonathan Alexander Woodhouse are accused in the May 2023 stabbing death of 37-year-old Randy Robinson. Mr. Robinson and the accused got into an altercation at a Georgetown bar. In international news, a border crossing between the U.S. and Canada has been closed after a vehicle exploded at a checkpoint on a bridge near Niagara Falls. The FBI's field office in Buffalo, New York, said in a statement it was investigating the explosion on the Rainbow Bridge, which connects the two countries across the Niagara River. Photos and video taken by news organizations and posted on social media showed a security booth that had been singed by flames. The ousted leader of ChatGPT maker OpenAI will return to the company that fired him just days ago, concluding a short but chaotic power struggle that shocked the tech industry and underscored the conflicts around how to safely build artificial intelligence. The San Francisco-based company said late Tuesday that it had reached an agreement in principle for co-founder Sam Altman to return as CEO under a different board of directors. OpenAI's previous board refused to give specific reasons for firing Altman, leading to a weekend of internal conflict at the company and growing outside pressure from the startup's investors. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks to people like Ms. Pamela Webster and who give tirelessly. And for this Saturday, and especially this time where there are many opportunities for us to come together as a community, this is a fun afternoon for you and your little one to be a part of the bazaar. So it's 2 p.m. this Saturday at the Ark.
Yes, details first.
Yes, Mom.
This has been going on for over 35 years, and it always has been a tradition to kick off the Christmas season with the Pink Ladies Bazaar. Many years ago, it was the only thing. Now we all got a full schedule, but don't forget the Pink Ladies. Don't forget the Pink Ladies Bazaar. Sterling's wearing his pinkish shirt today.
Yeah, the other pink one is, for Friday. I have a pinker one that I wear on Friday.
Awesome.
It was by design. But no, man, it's about sharing. And as you just said, there was a time not long ago when there were not a lot of things happening on the same day. Now, it's almost impossible some days to get to all the activities that you would like to. This particular one, though, I think it's not just part of the tradition. It's a way to step back, very much like Jasmine's event coming up on the following Tuesday. But you come and you get an afternoon tea, get some of those delicious cookies.
Well, that's the whole thing. The Pink Ladies Bazaar for many years has been a staple for the beginning of Christmas. And like I said, we're at Camana Bay, the Arts and Recreation Center at the International School. It's a beautiful venue, lots of parking. Key is the ticket has always been $5, and that $5 goes straight back to the community. Every penny we ever raise goes back to the community. But the bazaar itself has always gotten bigger and better. We have, of course, your tea, which is your refreshments and a cookie. That's included with your ticket. The afternoon of entertainment has always been my favorite thing because we always have a national choir or orchestra, jazz band, high school singers. So if you come at 2 o'clock on Camana Bay, you're going to have crafts, food, entertainment, something for the family. I know we used to do face painting and fingernails, and you'll see all of the other people we support, like Jasmine, NCVO. They will be there in their own booths with the White Elephant Thrift Shop. They bring their own thrift shop there. So it's a wonderful afternoon, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Camana Bay this Saturday. But if you're new to the island, join the tradition.
Yeah.
If you've been here forever, enjoy your annual Pink Ladies Bazaar. Christmas everywhere.
You know, it's something that in many other jurisdictions, in some cases, you know, for centuries, they have these outdoor Christmas markets. And I think not just in some of the older European towns and the like, but here is something, you know, 3+ decades, a tradition that may have moved around. You know, we've seen churches having something similar or supported. It speaks to what a community is, you know, and then the gifts that we can get, the little keepsakes, the mementos that are unique, and it speaks a lot, and it's only maybe treasured and revered for the next generation, you know.
You're so right, Sterling, because if you will find the best families shopping at the Pink Ladies Bazaar. We have a group of women that I really think they only take like 1 week off. Every Tuesday down in South Sound, our arts and crafts Pink Ladies.
Yeah.
They handcraft every Christmas ornament.
Wow.
There's always at least 20 or 30 wreaths for sale on the wall. Great prices, guys. You can't, again, this is a group of volunteer women, and they make every week, they work on Christmas ornaments, crafts, presents, candles, all year round, just to sell at this one big event.
Yeah.
So our crafts are amazing. Country Kitchen, I'm in charge of that this year. So you got your jams, your jellies. I do a banana bread and almond bread. And half the fun of doing the Country Kitchen, I will tell you, is doing your gingerbread men, but you decorate it.
Yeah.
So we sell them. So the plate is something that you can take home, freeze for Christmas for your family, or serve it, over the holidays. So the crafts, the food, the raffle, it's all amazing this Saturday.
And it's something that it may occur as we become more mature. But it's immediately evident amongst our children how they appreciate this building of traditions. And it's akin, in my mind, to the Cayman yesteryear where we had the conch shells in the back end of sand. We see how there's still some of us who do that. We do it in limited sort of space because of accessibility. But it's a reminder how easy things can be discouraged, can be displaced, can be denied. But here's an opportunity. The venue a decade for an event that has been almost 4 times as much, that you build that and you come out. And that child that was 5 years old
Remembers.
remember 15 years later.
I hope there's many people in our community, especially your listening audience. They know the Pink Ladies. They know the annual bazaar. We've evolved from a few other projects, but this is the one staple event. And so while your calendar might be busy or running children around on Saturday, don't forget to support the Pink Ladies. Buy your ticket. It's only $5. Come, show up, buy some beautiful crafts, have a lovely tea, listen to Christmas music. It's really the start of the family season. And while we all get busy, I love you said tradition.
Yeah.
This is a long-standing tradition for Christmas.
Indeed. And it's important. I mean, but I see you brought a book along, a book that has been in the making for 40 years.
The book is actually, Jane Moon put this together, and it was the founding of the Pink Ladies in 1980. And this was published 3 years ago. So, we're going on, over 35 years of the bazaar. I don't think we started the bazaar until 1984. And I didn't get here till 1996. So I'm working on my 30th year. But and Sterling, we used to do the hospital. And
that's fun.
I'll tell you a little bit about how the Pink Ladies were founded. So anyhow, this Saturday, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, come down to Camana Bay, the Ark. But a little history about the Pink Ladies, founded by Miss Olive Miller in 1980. It's a beautiful community story.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see more and continue with other organizations that I work with.
Yeah.
But in 1980, Miss Olive Miller founded the Pink Ladies, and for community service. I'll find the page a little bit here, and you can look at the.
Yeah. Well, as you do that, if I may be
Please.
allowed, this Saturday, as Miss Palm Webster was sharing, the invitation is to join the Pink Ladies over the Arc at Kamana Bay. It's where we've gone for basketball, where we've gone for, other sporting events, where we've had the science fair and the robotics competition. So it's that building with a big glass or a wall of glass right there. An amazing facility, and that was going to be transformed into, the space for the bazaar, Christmassy.
Christmas music, Christmas dancers. There's something for the children.
Mm-hmm.
Always the stage is full. The country kitchen is full to buy things. You get your $5 gets you a lovely refreshment, which you always call a tea, and the craft shop is amazing, and the raffle tickets. We always have at least 50 raffle prizes. I haven't met anyone who hasn't come, bought a couple of raffle tickets, and got something. It's the world's best raffle, and every year, Salma Silva does this beautiful handmade quilt.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one for sale on the silent auction, and there's always one up for raffle.
Mm-hmm.
So come and look at the Christmas quilts, the Christmas ornaments, the Christmas bulbs, the candles. It's just a wonderful festive afternoon.
And you might realize that, in your limited schedule and time constraints, that this may be an entity that you may want to be a part of and volunteer, or as you shared there, the other charities, if I may be allowed to call them as such, who the Pink Ladies support, but who also will be there. You might want to, get involved with their activities as well. So you're benefiting in so many ways, and you may just want an afternoon out with your little sister, for instance. You may want to bring your offspring. Can I put it that way?
But that way, big brother, big sister, we support all of them, and CBO, children. It's a real family event, but also you mentioned volunteering and being around since 1980. We're not spring chickens. We definitely need and want more volunteers, and it's not taxing.
No,
it's easy. We do a few events a year, and it's not something that's weekly. You can dip in, dip out, find your passion, but feeling good about giving back to the community.
Yeah.
So every month on the first Wednesday of the month, the Pink Ladies sponsor Jasmine Hospice a bingo.
Yeah.
We go down for 2 hours. I bake cookies. We have cookies and bingo. That's easy. Once a month, 2 hours. That's nothing. We used to do the hospital where we ran it for, decades, the canteen, but the restaurant, we've kind of got thin on volunteers and prices and everything changed. You remember being a trolley. We used to push Sterling used to push a trolley around.
My apron, okay?
No, hold on. You know who started that? Let me look at the book. Hold on.
Yeah,
Sterling did it. It was Evelyn Anderson.
Yeah.
You see, my husband's grandfather's name's Evelyn, and my daughter's middle name's Evelyn, so it's a great Kamanian name. But Evelyn Anderson, that was her jam.
Yeah.
She used to make the tea and deliver it to patients every night.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And so her trolley service turned into the restaurant at the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's how we made our money for years. It was the bazaar every Christmas and the hospital every day. And we take the funds and we support the Pines Retirement Home, the Lighthouse School, and NCVO, which is the National Council of Voluntary Organization, which runs a full-time foster home of residential 10 children, which I can talk about that. I used to be CEO. And quite a few other things. The Pink Ladies were formed to raise money for the community with a mission statement of supporting the elderly and children are our primary groups.
Those age groups that many of the policymakers will talk about. As,
But as you said, tradition, and we need more volunteers.
Yeah.
So you were one of our men volunteers. And we always do have, it's the Pink Ladies, but there are a lot of men behind these ladies. Breaking down, putting up chairs.
Yeah.
And this is a call for volunteers.
Yeah.
If you have not been in Cayman long, come on out. It's like very little to do.
Saturday will be a good way for you to interview, in a sense. And I'm grateful not just for the continued, the sustained effort on the part of, the volunteers, but the community and being supportive from their donations of cash and kind to the attendees. But also it provides something for families to do in a time when we are often saying there's nothing to do, nothing wholesome to do, nothing beneficial. There are many things we're just not cognizant of how busy, maybe I insert the word distracted, we are with so much other stuff. Here's a way to actually sit back.
You know what? If you contact me, I'll find a way.
There you go.
And I did forget to do that, where I can just give you right now, and I'll repeat it a few times. My phone number and my email is the most simple email in the world, because I used to be an email expert. Pamela, Pamela, Pamela at Webster.ky. So Pamela at Webster.ky. Send me an email if you have children. I've got many activities they can give back to, enjoy. And my phone number is 926-5404. I'll say it again later. But as the Pink Ladies, I host usually we do Christmas trees for the residents at the Pines Retirement Home. And years ago, I think it was John May who donated these little trees that are battery operated so they can be safe in the patient's room. And I would take either homeschoolers or a local Georgetown school, elementary, and we decorate the trees every year. That's not off the table. If anybody wants to have some children to come to the Pines Retirement Home in the first 2 weeks of December, I'd be very happy to decorate the Pines with our Pink Ladies, because we did that every year.
Well, Ms. Palmer, it's always a pleasure to have you. And as you said, for those who want to contact you, direct them to where they want to go. Pamela@webster.ky. Was it
926
5404? Yeah. And this Saturday, from 2 to 5 at the Arca Camana Bay, not just be a part of the bazaar, not just get the tea and the treats, but to realize and appreciate the time in which we live, the need to come together and to celebrate, but also to give of our time, our talent, and our treasure, and be, sort of imbued with that festive spirit as we hear the choir and the chorals, we hear the music.
Wonderful.
And the merry makers, huh?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to. I have not turned on the Christmas music yet, and I cannot wait. Once the Pink Ladies Bazaar happens, it's like that is the signal that your Christmas season can start.
Well, I'll share with you someone shared with me, and it's to each his or her own. I've never turned off the Christmas music.
I would listen to it in July just to cheer me up if I needed to.
Listen to it. I hum it all year round, and it's about a spirit that we should inculcate because it reminds us of the beauty and joy of life. And I think Saturday at the bazaar, it may, for some, just be that thing that we need because of so much that has, been sorrowful.
It's uplifting.
Yes.
And it's family-oriented and love and our Christian background. And I do believe that it does bring people together.
Yes, Mom.
Especially if you're from near or far. The one thing we can enjoy in Cayman is a very joyful, blessed Christmas.
There it is, man. Well, God's willing, I'll see you on Saturday sometime. I got some engagements early in the day.
I know.
But you and the team there fill my heart with Christmas joy and cheer, and it reminds me of how, we are here and now. Hey, thanks very much, Miss Palm.
Thank you so much.
All right, so this Saturday, between 2 and 5, come early and stay late. Buy your raffle tickets. Be a part of the annual Pink Ladies Christmas Bazaar at the Arca Camana Bay. God's willing, I'll see you on Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday at the Pink Ladies Bazaar.
All right. And to our listeners, join us right after. I'm going to get Mr. Paul a call to do something that he is not prepared to do. You want to know what it's going to be? Well, you better not go away. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
They say variety is the spice of life. And that's why at Subway, we're introducing the new boneless hot sub.
Say what?
The premium sub brings new ingredients like spicy breaded boneless chicken, French's crispy fried onions, and buffalo wing sauce, bringing a zesty and flavorful experience with every bite. Add some of your favorite veggies, cheese, and ranch sauce of your choice of freshly baked bread for the ultimate boneless hot sub. For a little spice in your life, try the new boneless hot sub from Subway.
So good and tasty.
And make it a meal with a drink and chips or cookies. Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are red hot and moving. Somebody is going to win this Saturday. And why not you? Get your ticket now through Rotary Central members, Rotary Central ticket sellers, online at eventpro.ky, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Funky Tangs at Shedden Road, Ken Hurlston at Foster's Republics in West Bay, Rotarian Andy Rose Scott next to Rubis in West End, Cayman Brack. Grand prize $40,000. Second winner is $4,000 and 6 $1,000 prizes. Event date, Saturday. This Saturday, November 25th at Salties in Grand Harbor, Red Bay. Music by Sugar Daddy, Goodnight Hannah, the band called Heat. Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, a major fundraiser taking care of our community. Rotary Central, NPO number 232, creating hope in Cayman and the world.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
The Black Friday sale is now on at Reflections Clothing Store. Save 60% on all Adidas apparel. Find store-wide savings up to 60% off on tees, caps, shoes, and clothing. Selected Nike, Puma, and US Polo is 50% off. US Polo handbags. Buy one, get one at 50% off. Save on ladies' fashion jeans, 1 pair of jeans for $25 or 2 for $45. Includes select Levi's, 100% cotton tees by Johnny Cotton, 2 for $34.99. Spend $25 and be entered to win up to $500 in gift certificate. Shop the Black Friday sale at Reflections Clothing Store on now.
It's November, and November brings Gimme Story. The Cayman National Cultural Foundation presents the Cayman Islands International Storytelling Festival. Gimme Story, your district. Join us for 6 evenings of free family entertainment from November 25th to December 2nd. Guests arrive at 6:30 p.m. and the show starts at 7. Experience the best of Cayman storytellers that Anna know from Anna Born, like Rita Estevanovich, Nasaria Saku Chalet, and international storytellers like Black Sage of Trinidad and more. Vote for the best fried fish and enjoy some swanke. Plus, it's all free. And we starting on time too, so try so hurry up. Visit artscayman.org or Cayman Culture on social media.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks. And we're at the almost the end of the show. We have a chance for a call, Mr. Carl. We might. Well, let's see what happens as we transpire. Well, on behalf of the Pink Ladies, this Saturday at Arca Commander Bay, please be a part of the annual bazaar of 2 until 5 p.m. And it looks like we're at that point. For some reason, today isn't feeling like a Wednesday. I wonder why that is. We ended in the show in a couple of minutes, and I'm told we probably have a chance for a call or like, if you wish. Remember our parliament is in session tomorrow, and there's the expectation that, and they announce, by the former premier that he will not be taking up the seat of the speaker. The speculation as to whom it might be. Well, we'll know for sure at the end of the day tomorrow. But we say that to ask, as many have shared, and we heard it again and a few times for those who subscribe to prayer, that keep the people in position and power and authority in our prayers, that they be imbued with wisdom, with a sense of doing the right and just thing, and they have the competence and the confidence to do right as they serve our nation. And we've seen it so far, so let's press on and press in. All right, tomorrow, reminder, the parliament will not only elect a new speaker. There are much, and hopefully you heard for the record this morning we start. If you didn't, you can go back on our YouTube and, as you would for our talk today, and listen. He gave the agenda. There are a number of government business to be attended to, including reconstituting the business committee, and that in itself is very significant when it comes to the affairs of the parliament. Well, thank you very much again for allowing us to be a part of today's production. We invite you to not only listen, but if you are able to attend in person our parliament tomorrow. Of course, our sister station Breeze FM will take that for you, and come back for talk today. Be a part of our unfolding democracy. Be mindful that it is incumbent on us as the citizens, but primarily as the registered voters, to be involved and engaged, and through being informed, or we can ensure that the policies that are promulgated by our policymakers and politicians are reflective of what the people need and sometimes want, and that agenda shouldn't just be dictated and directed by the groups that we call and label as special interests, but for us. And it shouldn't be at the expense of many, and it shouldn't be at the expense of today. And we should, as our parents have did, they made provision for tomorrow. All right, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Of course, Radio Kemal will bring you the best music and entertainment, so you don't need to change the dial. Information is always there, and certainly this evening, JJ for that 7 to 8 hour gives us some local flavor as we get ready for the Music Express. Radio Kemal has always been that thing for everyone and always delivering. So until tomorrow, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman